Everyone. And I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, as most of you know. I'm in Calgary, and we are doing a lecture today. And today is called Vital Force or Off Course. Vital Force or Off Course. And I need you to understand something. You're the vital force you've been looking for. Does everybody understand? Guess what? It's all about waves. It's all about vibration. It's all about waves. It's all about, well, if you did, you'd watch the way you spoke. I can't talk to anybody, almost anybody, 99 out of 100 people. You can't talk to them without them apologizing or saying sorry or using words, and they don't even realize that they're putting themselves down and lowering their vibration all the time. What creates everything in your life? Everything in your life. What creates everything in your life?
Energy.
Perception. Perception. What creates perception? Belief systems. And guess what? Every one of you, you are not your authentic personality. I've been giving whole life health coach certification training since I was 28 years old. I'll be 67 in 2 months. I'm not even my authentic personality, but I have changed enough to upset the Canadian government, the medical system, and 99% of the population. So I feel really good. You think I'm kidding? Do you think I want to be part of the majority? 92% of the population in North America has an autoimmune disease. That means the body is attacking itself, and the body will never attack itself until the human being has been taught to attack themselves on an emotional, mental level. That's it. That's it. You know, there's only 2 ways to become sick. What are they? What are they? Dysfunctional, diseased. Come on. Protein. Protein. No. No, your body's made out of protein. So if you have dysfunctional protein, you can be sick. But how many people know this, that only 3% of the population has that? And that's an actual stat. 97% of the population, okay, is most of us. And if you're sick, it's because you send the wrong signals. Because your personality sucks. It's sucking the life out of you. Somebody said to me, I won't be here in a while because I have to go to church. I said, you might want to stay here and look after this church, this temple. They want to go to church. Why? Because they want to make sure their spirit is okay. But his or her spirit's never going to be okay until they change their personality. You're not going to have a spirit that's okay unless you have unconditional love and care for yourself. It's all about the signals you put out. Oh, I don't like him. I don't like her. Did you ever walk into a room and the vibe wasn't right? Yeah, but you stayed anyway most of the time. I won't. I won't. You still try to work with the medical system. The medical system is organic science. The whole thing is built on a lie. From the time you go to school, from grade 1 all the way through medical school, it's built on organic science. Yes or no? Tell me I'm a liar. And it has nothing to do with health. That's why people aren't healthy. That's why people get sicker. And the reality is this. Did I just tell you that the signals that you're giving off and putting into your body will decide how healthy you are? And guess what? Most of you are on some kind of drug. And don't say, not me. Well, of course, not you. You're the one. But the reality is the majority of the population are taking it, whether it's Advil or Tylenol, or whether it's any other drugs. And we have to understand something. All drugs do is shut down what? Signals. When you shut down a signal, you shut down the vibration. When you shut down the vibration, the protein in your body, that the vibration comes in and tells the protein what to become. Do you know what stem cells are? Do you know why a stem cell becomes a cancer cell? Because you have corruption, contamination, and conflict. And that's the vibration you have, and that goes into the stem cell. So it doesn't become an eyeball, doesn't become a bone, doesn't become an organ. It becomes cancer because you are the cancer. But there is no cancer. There's just conflict, contamination, and corruption. And if that's the C in cancer, if you take that away, you've got ANSER. You are the answer. All you had to do was unconditionally love yourself. But most of you were brought up in a religion that if you unconditionally love yourself, then you're going to hell for that. Because then you let yourself off the hook. And we all know that we're born sinners and we're sinners for the rest of our life. And we're always trying to make it up to someone. Well, guess what? I don't give a shit. You can't make me feel guilty. You can't make me feel bad. And guess what? You can believe whatever you want. I'm going to love you anyway. Okay? I had a relative tell me, you know what? Go to hell. You're going to hell. Just yesterday. And I said, I love you anyway. And I said, if this is hell, I can't wait for heaven. You need to understand something. You cannot affect me to infect me. But every one of you are getting affected and infected by your family, your friends, and the world right now. I've spent the last year preparing for what they've been preparing for 250 years, which is all going to go down. COVID was an hors d'oeuvre. Depression went up to 10,000%. 10,000%. What the hell kind of number is that? And there is no depression. There's just anxiety. And understand something. I'm stressed. Well, so what? I love stress. Stress motivates me. And if you really knew what stress was, it motivates you and it keeps you healthy. It triggers your immune system. It's anxiety telling the same stupid story over again. Who you pissed off at? Who do you hate? Well, I hate broccoli. Really? Wow. Just by hating broccoli, you can make yourself sick. Guess what? I hate broccoli. That's a vibration, isn't it? Meanwhile, it's never going to get on your plate. Why don't you leave broccoli alone? You might hate me right now, and I don't care. You can tell me I hate you. And guess what? The only one going to be poisoned is you. There's no thing can make me feel bad. I'm just so tired of it, I get a call from a lady yesterday. Not tired of it. It's just, just breathe, Daryl. Just breathe. Dr. Wolf, I've been going through your information. Oh my God, I'm so amazed. I went through your reverse the irreversible. Now I know how I got all the scar tissue through the surgery and through the inflammation and the scar tissue formation and then why I have osteoporosis, because I've been pulling calcium from my bones. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I am just so beyond, and I just want you to know that I really believe in you, even though all my family and friends say that you're a snake oil salesman and you murdered 3 people in Canada. But you see, she's actually going to pass that on. Jesus, I'm in Calgary. Why don't they come and get me? I'll be in Toronto in 2 weeks. I'll be only about 20 minutes from them, so they can come and get me. Do you understand something? They would come and get me if they could. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what you have to say. You better care what you have to say. You better care what you have to think. You better care about what you drink and what you eat. And understand something. You actually think that you're your personality. You actually think you're your personality. So I told you, 3% of the population will have dysfunction because of dysfunctional protein in their body. How many people know that no disease is caused from genetics? How many people know that the Genome Project, you can talk to any medical doctor and they'll lose their license if they don't say that it's genetic. They'll lose their license. Even if they know the truth, they can't say it. Because it's got to be genetic. Because why? Because if it's genetic, that means that you're powerless. And when you're powerless, remember the last time that you felt powerless? You made a real stupid decision, didn't you? Well, you didn't make a decision. Someone made it for you, didn't they? And if you did make a decision, you didn't make a decision with any brain cells. It's all about signals. The signals I just put out right now, there's like 2 or 3 people in this audience that are going, holy crap. And then other people, and most of the people in here are going, well, that's interesting. Where's the critical thinking? And I'm going to tell you where it is. It's in the toilet and it's never coming out. Because guess what, son? If you love another human being more than you love yourself, you haven't got a chance on this planet. And if you don't understand that it's always been about unconditional love for yourself before anyone else or anything else, so help me God. And you know what? I'm not here to piss you off if you're highly religious. My father was a born-again Christian pastor. You couldn't make me feel like a sinner if you wanted. I went and looked it up in the dictionary this morning. It meant I was missing the mark. So do you mind if I try again? Do you mind if I try again and again and again? But you go ahead and you take your stories, your glory stories. You make yourself feel guilty. Make everybody else feel guilty. Make everybody feel like a sinner. Put a chokehold on them. I want you, while you're at it, put a chokehold on yourself and see how well you heal. See if you stay healed. I have been going like, I don't know if you follow me, but try. You can't. I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I believed in what most of you believe in. I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do if I believe in what most of you believed in. You believe in a dysfunctional God. You're still trying to work with the medical system and the government. You still don't understand that there's an evil entity that has lived on this planet, will live on this planet forever. You don't understand that when you play Monopoly, you're playing Monopoly, not Scrabble. You're living on a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, only if you understand the rules. And the rules are you make your own. You don't break the rules. You don't bend the rules. You make your own rules. I'll tell you something right now. I don't fight with anyone. I'm not trying to cause a fight with anyone. I'm here for the 1 out of 10,000. I already know that only the minority of the minority are ever going to buy into my BS belief system. I have to not care about the way people care for themselves, because people don't care for themselves, do they? You've all been programmed. There's not a woman or a man in here that wouldn't give their life for their family. Oh, they already are. Because it's all about the suffering. Oh my God. I suffer more than anybody else in my family. From my family. Oh, I can tell. You're a wreck. And you didn't know that all the suffering you did for your family is you made everybody sick. You are the dis-ease because you're not at ease. And you're not at ease because you're running the wrong signals. Oh, do you think that somebody who runs a program that suffering is the way to the Lord? Suffering is the way to a person's heart. And you know what, for most of you, and I'm not talking about you personally, for most of the world, I can get the world to fall in love with me if I suffer enough for that person. Yes or no? What a bunch of bullshit. Seriously. I'm going to suffer to get your love. Oh, you know why I'm going to suffer to get your love? Because I don't love myself. I'm going to use you one big nipple and suck you dry. And then you'll suck me dry. Oh, that would be called relationships. Oh, tell me that you've had a great relationship. Tell me that your marriage is so good. Oh, yeah. We're just two spirit beings coming together, rocking the world. We know that the world's toxic and always stay that way, but we're not. We've made decisions to live in the best we can, the highest vibrational life, the best food, the best air, the best place to live. We're not sucked in by anything, and we have no fear about anything. You couldn't threaten me. You can't scare me. What a crock of crap. My whole schooling, like I told you, all the way from grade 1 right through to becoming a medical doctor, you are taught organic chemistry, which is a lie. We are vibrational light energy beings. Every one of you are giving off light and you are taking in light. I eat one meal a day. I ate yesterday, well, actually, let me correct myself. Yesterday, okay, I went to Chop Leaf. I know it's not all organic, but guess what? Oh, I don't want to eat that. It's not all organic, but then you'll go and eat processed foods. Seriously, there's a lot of thought. So what I did is I took my Pure Wave magnet, put it underneath my meal, let it sit, salad. We took it home, let it sit under there for 10 minutes. I sprayed it with structured water, and that's just as good as buying organic. Didn't you know that? Everything is vibration. Everything is magnetic. Right now, I'm repelling some people away from me because I've hurt your feelings about religion. I hurt your feeling. Oh my God, it's so easy to hurt everybody's feelings today, isn't it? Yeah, victimitis is the only virus. That's the only virus. And understand something. That one is spreading. But guess what? Does anybody know that you can't catch the flu? It's called influence. Influence. And does everybody know that every change of season, you will have the flu if you are stressed out or toxic? Because the world is a cleansing then. I don't give a crap. Let them come and get me in Toronto. They spent $200,000, sent a whole video crew down to Ixtapa for like 2 to 3 months and found people that I didn't even work on that I killed. Do you understand? You need to, don't like me, but learn to love yourself. Have an understanding. Stop working with dysfunctional people, dysfunctional systems. Stop trying to be right and stop trying to win. I don't want to win at anything. I'm going to win with me. I don't want to be right. God, what? I'm going to debate with someone whether I'm right when I already know that I'm the minority of the minority. You don't go around loving yourself 100%, letting yourself to the point that you never have to let yourself off the hook, because I never put myself on the hook. If I make a mistake, I'll apologize. Is it okay if I have my own God? You have yours. Oh, but you have many more people that believe in your God. So you're going to just rock the world, aren't you? And tell me that I suck. What makes you right? I'll tell you what makes me right? I don't come on to anybody. People will call me up and go, Dr. Wolf, are you still a Christian? Because if you're not, we're not coming to your clinic. Wow. I'll tell you what I am. Universal, unconditional love. I don't care what your religion and what your beliefs are, what your color is. I don't care even if you don't like me and you want to come and get well. Let's just do it anyway. Do you understand? And understand something. There's a lot of you here, and you've been at my lectures before, but you haven't taken yourself serious yet. You use me as entertainment. Well, at least one thing, he's entertaining, But it's so hard to give up your addictions. And most of you, whether you believe it or not, you've got the sinner bug, that if you actually did unconditionally love yourself, you're a little bit scared that you might go to hell. Because you have to be punished And you have to punish those who don't do what you do or believe in what you believe. Yes or no? You know what? I am really glad that somebody doesn't have to have my belief systems for me to love them. That was probably my biggest breakthrough. You know what, Dr. Wolf, I listened to your lecture and 8% of it I believe in. Oh, that's great. Love you anyway. Now, what was that person trying to do? Create what? Friction. Wouldn't it be great if you don't have any friction in your life? You do know that's why we're moving to the digital system, is to get rid of all the friction, right? So that money can move faster. That's right. I'll never be digital anything, but I do know we're going to digital, whether you like it or not. So you can go, cash is it. That's it. That's it. Hey, listen, why don't you protest against yourself about the dysfunctional belief systems that are sending the wrong signals to your cells? Does everybody understand that, you've got about 120,000 different proteins in the body? And then vibration causes these proteins to move and to warp and to take shape. And as long as you're sending out a vibration and a signal, they move. Oh, wait a minute. Are you ready for this? And then as soon as you take any drug, you're not sending any vibration. You cut off gut-brain connection, which means that even though you're on fire and you're still in pain and you have inflammation, guess what? You don't feel it. So that means that guess what? The proteins don't shift and mold. They stop. Hey, do you still have protein when you pass on? Let's call it dead because that's what everybody says. But when you're no longer in this meat suit, you still have all the protein, but there's no signal. So none of the proteins are moving. There's like 120,000 different types of protein within cells. And depending on the signal you send, will make it into a cancer cell or a healthy cell. You are the cancer. You are the diabetes. You are the arthritis. Everything is vibration. That's not true because I know I had a really bad diet. I know that. But the thing is that perception. You made the wrong choices. A person that is high vibrational isn't going to eat low vibrational foods. Does it look like I eat low vibrational foods? Does it look like I hang around with low vibrational friends or family? Does it look like I watch low vibrational things? Do I look at my life as one grand adventure that I want to be the hero of my story at every moment? And that I'm going to connect to my breath, have a slight smile on my face, even if an atomic bomb goes off and go, I got this, baby. Because I am universal. I am unconditional love for myself and everyone else. So I don't care. You don't have to tell me you love me or hate me. I'm going to love you anyway, so don't come near me because that'll piss you off too. And everybody's got their own thing. I'm not a hugger. I hug a little. That's long enough. I've got boundaries. Oh, I'm sure you do. You've got belief systems, and they're not even yours. I just hope that most of my belief systems are authentic before I leave this time. And they will not be authentic unless I have unconditional love for all of my brothers and sisters on this planet. So what do you hate? Who do you hate? And how long do you hate for? How long do you stay depressed? How long do you have anxiety? And are you telling the same BS story, belief system story? You have no idea what my childhood was like. It was hell. I'm on my third marriage. I got beat up by 3 of them already. You're going to get beat up by the 4th too. The doctors, they've destroyed my life. They've destroyed. Well, whether they did or they didn't, you're the one who's doing it now. Listen to the stories you tell. There's your perception. I got this. I got this. That's all you have to say. And you need to let everything drop off a cliff. You need to burn it. You need to get rid of every chokehold. If it wasn't for him, I would. If it wasn't for her, I would. Isn't it great? You know what? I just went to the doctor, and I'm 1 out of 5 trillion people with this disease. I'm now special. This is where we are today. Tell me we're not. And guess what? Canada, what do they want? What is it? $3,000 for everyone, whether you work or not? Well, first we had COVID and everybody got the free checks. Now it's hard to get anybody to go to work. The reality is that, guess what? We're very low vibrational beings in the universe. Okay? All right? You take the plant life and take animals, okay? Does everybody know that they're more intelligent than us? Because they go by feelings. They feel their way through. You think your way through, but guess what? What you're thinking, you never made it up. You were programmed to think like this. You know? God, every day I'm called a snake oil salesman, a murderer. Jesus. Last time not last time, the second last time I was in Kelowna, a lady spit on me in Choices and said, "You murderer." And I just I looked at Lori and went, "There you go." She spit on me. And you know what? I said to Lori right away, what did I say to her? God, the hell that she's going through right now, I feel for that lady. I feel for her because it wasn't me. It was someone that she could vent on. You do understand that people don't change. They don't change. I mean, people don't change unless you're going to go to boot camp brainwash. That's the truth. I've got one of the most powerful courses in the world called Whole Life Health Coach. Who has taken it here? For those who have taken it, has it changed your life more than anything else in your life?
Yes.
Has it saved your life? But most of you will never take it. You know why? It's not because the course isn't good, not because you don't like me. Maybe you don't, though. It's because you aren't worth the value of $4,000 Canadian. You're just not. And also, you're not the value of 9 days. You're not the value of 4,000 in 9 days. And I give a 3-day money back guarantee. That's 1/3 of the time. You could just say to me, you know what? This isn't right for me. Maybe I'll come back and take it another time. Connie, please give them a refund. It's not about the money anymore, guys. At one time in my life, it was about the money. It's not about the money anymore. For God's sakes. We all have, and are from the same creator, and you all think you know what the creator is, and every one of you have a different story for that creator, and you got your head up your butt so far that we were all created by the same creator, and we don't know who that creator is. And the only thing that we should be doing down here is trying to reach for unconditional love and care for ourselves. That's it. From the moment we rise until we close our eyes, we learn how to totally unconditionally love and care for ourselves. And if we pulled that off, that would be the best gift to your family and your friends. Yes or no? Okay, so mind your own business and stop judging everybody. And guess what? There is no justice here, just judgment. Yes? Family's everything. It is not. It's nothing. Family is nothing. I am everything. If I don't become everything, my family is nothing. Did you get that? And as long as you want to make your family everything, you're nothing. And that means your family is nothing. And you know what? That pisses me off. That is the most stupidest saying in the world. Family's everything. That means that no matter what goes on in your family, it will be washed under the carpet, will it? Won't it? What a bullshit saying. Let's just wake the heck up. Okay? Because what's coming in the next few months, most of you aren't emotionally prepared for it. One moment you're going to wake up in the morning and guess what? Banks are shut. There goes all your savings. That's why they told you to save your money all your life. And if you want to save your money, get it the hell out. Setup's coming. Just go watch some videos in the 1930s. It's not going to be exactly the same. And I'll say it one more time. Go to BHN, The Ripple Effect, if you want to know what financially is coming down. I created that website. I mean, it's on Telegram. I created that for everybody. And guess what? You're not going to go, oh, you were wrong. No, you're going to tell me that all of the biggest systems in the world that are headed this direction are wrong. Everybody that's anybody that has any influence in the world has already spoken on my Telegram channel. I've got all the videos there. All the pieces are there. So wake up. Wake up. Most of the population is going to be jumping off bridges if they're not fenced off. Most of the population is going to be on so many medications because they will not be able to process this because they don't know how to stay in the moment. They're either regretful or they're fearful. Yes or no? If you were in the present moment, connected to your breath, and you had a slight smile on, let me just say this. Practice those three things. Connected to your breath, slight smile. Okay? All right? And put a love band on. This is snug as a hug. That's a kiss. Because I hear that Justin Trudeau is going to make it illegal to hug and kiss in Canada. And most of you are going to stop doing it because guess what? We're cattle. And we are being harvested. Why am I in Canada? Why am I not living in Canada anymore? And why am I not living in Texas anymore? And I may move back to Texas, like as a second home. But I'm not living here because it's too difficult. And guess what? You can say what you want, but at least the Americans still have guns. You know, I don't own a gun, but the reality is, you know, they're willing to stand up for their rights. Canadians, you know, I really don't know. I don't get this. I really don't get this. I mean, the truckers thing was wonderful, but the reality is we're not standing up for each other. I mean, think about it. Every city has so many homeless in it now in Canada. And this is all done on purpose. And it's to bring the vibration down. Why am I talking about this? Because everything is about vibration. Everything's about vibration. Everything's about signals. What signal do you give off? If you give off a signal of fear, the lion's going to take you down, isn't he? The tiger's going to take you down. But then most of you run around fearful all day, don't you? Waiting for the shoe to drop. So that means that you're in fight or flight. Okay, does everybody understand something? That if you're dumping even the slightest bit of cortisol, that your immune system's completely shut down. Now, if I have a chronic illness and I go to a medical doctor, do I come out, oh my God, I feel so much better after seeing him, or do I feel worse? Which one? Okay, then why do we go? And when I come out, now I'm dumping even more cortisol. And I just told you that if you want to get well, you have to be in a parasympathetic state, which means your immune system's turned on. But if you're dumping any bit of cortisol or any adrenaline in the body, guess what? You're never going to heal. And that's why people that are in bed, okay, they can't get out of bed because they don't have energy. And guess what, guys? Should you go to a chemical practitioner or an energy practitioner? Which one?
Energy.
Oh, yeah, but guess where does most people go? But even if they go to an energy practitioner, most practitioners don't understand how to get energy into people, do they? Most natural health practitioners are inky-dinky schnitzel house, superficial, aren't they? Because they haven't gotten their own authentic self together. They don't even know how to stand up for themselves. Look at. Lady calls me. I've had cancer 3 times. I've been to all the best hospitals in the United States. We spent over $250,000 so far. And I said to her, guess what? There's a part of you that is so self-loathing. Now you've come to me I deal in higher vibration. But up until this point, you've had no value. So you pick practitioners that will feed your belief, no value. And so you've been giving up pieces of yourself. So here's the deal. You can either cut out what you don't like, or you can put energy back into it and heal it. If you create a tumor on an unconscious level, do you think you can't consciously get rid of it? And then when a doctor says to you, you only have 6 weeks to live, he's absolutely right. If you want to be a statistic and act like the majority acts. But if you want to be a child of God, which is a vibrational spirit, and you want to change your personality in that second and go, I will unconditionally love and care for myself. I will not act like the people that are in the statistic of where I am. I'm not going to act like an average 44-year-old person with this condition that leaves the doctor. You do know that 99% of the people that leave the doctor don't go home and change their diet, don't change their mind. They take the drugs and they go home to get ready to die. So you go around telling 50 trillion cells that, get ready, baby, we're leaving. And you are the captain of the ship. Now, the doctor isn't lying to you because they've been taught that and they believe it. I'm not making doctors and nurses into bad people, but they have bad beliefs. Look, let me just say this. Okay. Their X-ray machine, sonogram, MRI, all of their equipment is based on what? Vibration, energy. When they go in, they're actually testing your energy and where the vibration is in your cells, and the doctors don't even know it. So they're using that, and then they're going right back to organic chemistry because the other doesn't exist. So think of me as you want, but I just want to be the wake-up call for the 1 out of 10,000. If I were to go into 95% of the population that's in this room at this health lecture, I would take out 3 boxes of poisonous food. 3 boxes this size of poisonous food, and in 90% of the people in this room. You know everything that says flavor enhancer? Well, it will tingle the tip of your tongue. And by the time it gets to the back of your throat, there's no taste. So the tip of your tongue is asking for the tingle again. And that's why everything that says flavor enhanced or flavors, okay, is all disease-causing chemicals. Now tell me I'm not going to take out 3 boxes out of your house. Yeah, we're all confused. We can't figure out what's really going on. All the greatest minds have come together. They can't get the chlorine out of the water. They can't get the chemtrails or the acid rain to stop. Okay? All right? They can't get the pornography off the computers because it's not supposed to come off. It's supposed to be there because you're all sick and warped. And the same people that are telling us we're sick and warped and that we need to recycle. Why don't you recycle my ass? Okay? All right? Rockefeller got rid of all the glass and all the paper and replaced it with plastic. And then everything on the shelves is plastic, but then I got to buy a plastic bag to put my plastic in. Human beings are one of the lowest vibrational species in the universe right now. At one time, which would be hundreds of thousands of years ago, we were vibrationally really high. Whether you want to believe it or not, 250,000 years ago, the DNA of the human being was manipulated. And the reality is that there's no need to have your brain being 80% subconscious. Do you know why? They wanted a big storage shed, okay? So that from 0 to 7, that you would get all the beliefs that your parents got and their grandparents and your great grandparents got about religion and about schooling and about finances. I mean, not, all of you got out of high school and you went, I don't know how to feed myself. I don't know how to love myself, but I do know how to get my pants off. And I don't know what I'm going to do for a living. And I just spent 12 years and I learned a math that I don't even know what it was. And I don't even know how to add money up or what to do. Whether you believe it or not, the biggest herd is human beings because they're human doings. You're not a human being, okay, unless you vibrate high. And understand something. I'm not going to keep being recycled. Why do you think recycling is so big here? Because they recycle you. And most of you don't believe that. You know, you believe in some other story. If I were to go through this whole room here, everybody would have a different story, wouldn't they? A different story. And we could get the same religion and then get everybody separately and then ask them about what they feel about the universe and God and everything else, and every story would be different. So which one's going to hell for having the wrong story? None of them, because the story doesn't matter. So is it okay if I make up my own story? Can I make up a story where I'm the hero and I'm my own practitioner and I fall in love madly with myself so that I don't go around sucking on everybody else and taking it out on everyone else because they didn't tell me that I was worthy. I'm worthy enough already. Is that okay with you? Or should I have your story? Should I have the Catholic story or the Christian story? Or should I have the Buddhist story? Or can I just have my own bloody story? Oh, you'll probably go to hell now, Daryl. Or the other religion says that everybody else is going to hell, but they're going to heaven. Oh my God. You know what? I just want to do therapeutic vomiting. And then guess what? I will never, ever fight. I will never, ever fight to be right. I just told you it's my story. So don't fight with me. You got your story, I got my story. Well, I don't like your story, Daryl, and I don't like you. Okay, that's cool, but I'll love you anyway. Do you see? It's all just so bloody well ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I'm not going to be ridiculous anymore. I'm going to rock my moments. I'm going to rock my day. I mean, I did things that most people don't do. I went down and got a long-term lease, and I've got this big, beautiful 5-star house that people can come down and stay in and heal in Ixtapa, Mexico. I got another long-term lease. How about this? 20 years. And I'm putting money in. I just built a pickleball court there because guess what? I wanted a pickleball court in my backyard. I got a pool, okay? I'm going to have a food forest. Jim Gale's going to build it for me. In the backyard, I'm going to have all raised gardens. I'm going to have 2 beehives, and I'm right in the middle of a jungle, but I'm only 5 minutes from the beach, and I'm only 5 minutes from great shopping, all organic foods. And guess what? It's only sunny 320 days a year. I'm talking about sunny, no clouds, no chemtrails, no 5G. Is it okay if I just know that this is my playground and I'm going to have a good time and you stay as miserable as you want? You tell yourself that you have to stay there and suffer for your family. You got to stay there because that's your job. I don't want a job. I want passion. I want purpose. I am going to rock this world. I'm coming out with my app the day before my birthday. And this app is the biggest health app, the biggest freedom app that's ever been created. Okay, we've got True Vision Television. We're going to have up to 120 different shows, different languages, different ethnic groups, different religions. No, only one religion. No, I'm kidding. Everybody can have any belief they want, as long as they're coming on there to share their passion and purpose, and they're not trying to get somebody into their cult. Because everybody needs to become their authentic self here. Don't join me. Don't follow me. Take the things that I have to enrich and unlock your authentic self and find your brave heart. I challenge you to fall in love with yourself more than anybody else on this planet, and then tell me that you have a pimple. I have no pimples, at least that you can see. I have no tumors. I have no pain. I have no suffering. Signals. You go ahead. You worry. You stress out. You have anxiety. You have your little tantrums. You want to know something? Adults have the worst tantrums in the world, and they have them for years, not for minutes. That's just my personality. Really, if that's your personality, I can see where you're going. And I mean it. You're going down, baby, because you're putting out the wrong signals. You've got 50 trillion cells that listen to you. You're the captain of the ship. And understand something, whether you guys believe this or not, your mind has created your body, created your health or your diseases. It's created your poverty or your wealth. That's not true. It's so hard to make money. That's right. That's your belief system, and that's your signal. And guess what? There was a time in my life 20 years ago when, guess what? Money was hard to make, and I was working like 14 hours a day. I was grinding it out, baby. 25 years ago, grinding it out until I lost it all. Back then, I was worth almost 3.5 million. And I'll tell you right now, it was only, let me see here. 13 years ago, I was worth $2,200, and it was the best I ever felt in my life. I understood it. I understood it all after that. I used to go to work, and some days I'd make $5,000, and then I'd go home and pretend I made none. My father had so much poverty consciousness. God love him. I don't have any of it. You know what? Do you know what really pisses them off? They can't touch me. They could try to steal everything from me that's materialistic. And guess what? I'd be up and running that very next second. You can't hurt me. Not that you'd want to. It's just that you're hurting yourself, and I'm getting in your way. And this is why you don't hang around with people that are hurting themselves. They don't want to hurt you. It's just the program. Look at how many of you women stay with men that are abusive or alcoholic, and you'll stay with them for 10 and 20 and 30 years. And then you'll bitch about it all the time. But actually, your biggest program is you need to be abused. You think I'm kidding? You were raised that way. You were programmed to be that way. We're the abusers, and we abuse you. It's all just programming. Don't get upset. It's just programming. But, you could love and care for yourself at any moment that you want. We're going to take a break, but first I'm going to have Lorraine come up, and we're going to take like a 10-minute break. And then those of you that need to sneak off because this isn't your bag, I get it. And those who want to stay, we're going to talk about having a perfect day. So I brought the thunder in, didn't I, a little bit? Did I bring it in a little bit? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sit here as a group on how we can come together as a real family and talk about what a perfect day would look like on an emotional, physical level. And then those of you, think about it. If you've got health questions and you don't want to come up here and sit beside me, I'd like some people to sit beside me. Okay. I can't promise not to touch you. But, if write your questions down if you don't want to come up, and then just leave them here on the book. And then I'll answer your questions, no matter what they are. And I don't mind you challenging me. Challenge me on any level. First of all, I'll never lie. Okay. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Unless you're a dentist or a medical doctor or the government. That's right. I forgot. Okay. Well, I love my dentist. She's really beautiful. She's in Mexico. Where I go, it's all women. And there's like 6 different dentists there, and they all do their separate jobs. So they're doing a lot of work on me. And she goes, I know what your beliefs are, Dr. Wolf, but you got to take this prescription of these antibiotics. And I go, okay, all right. So anyways, but understand, I take the prescription and then I come back, right? Because they wanted to put a post in and then they want to put a ceramic tooth in, and God knows I need antibiotics because, I'm just an infectious walking thing that could die at any moment. So anyways, I come back and she goes, oh my God, it's healed so beautifully. See, now do you understand about antibiotics? I said, yeah, I never took them. You lied to me. And I said, yes, but if I didn't lie to you, you'd be all upset and then you'd still want my money and then you would have had a bad weekend. Is that true? Okay. Okay. But are you going to take them ever? No, I'm not going to. Okay. I'm not going to take something that's going to go in and destroy me. My silver bullet gel, my healthy mouth essential oil, my C60. You just said that you've never seen healing like this before. Then understand something. I have science and nature. Okay. You have science and chemicals. Okay. Which one sounds better to you? Okay. And I said, you know what? I get it. You're a dentist. Okay. You guys are like I think you guys are now like the fourth or the fifth leading cause of death in the world. And I know you want to do your best. I mean, the medical system. Okay. All right. They're number 3. Okay. And then number two is what? Is cancer. Number 1 is heart disease. And guess what? Those 2 professions really help with the first 1 and 2, right? So I don't want anybody to help me go 1 and 2. I can go 1 and 2 on my own. So you need to understand something. People go, he's a troublemaker. Okay. All right. I'm not a troublemaker. You know what? Nobody tells the truth. If only 3% of the population were to talk like I talk, I don't expect people to. I don't ask anybody to follow me. But if 2 to 3% were to talk like I talk, it would be over. It'd be over. You haven't even heard a lecture like this in your life before. You know why? Because guess what? There is a creator of the universe, and the creator of the universe is not coming to save my butt, because guess what? It's all about vibration. It's all about signals, and it's all up to me. When you get down on your knees and you beg God, please, right? Get off your knees. Thank the creator of everything for healing you already. And then imagine that with all your heart, with everything that you got, and then take massive personal action and take those 3 boxes of garbage that's not even food out of your house. And then get out of that relationship that helped cause the disease. That relationship, maybe it's just with yourself or it's with another human being. Guys, seriously? Okay. If somebody's making me sick, I'm not going to stay with them. Thank you very much. And you know as well as I do that your partner's not changing. Oh, but you really hope they do, don't you? Oh, yeah. Well, why do you think you're here alone? Why do you think you're here alone? Because your partner's not going to change. But love them anyway. But the reality is this is just me. If Lori, my partner, did not believe in this planet as being a fun-filled adventure where she's just totally open to anything that honors her, only honors her, I wouldn't be with her. I wouldn't be with her. But see, you bought into that one thing. Suffering is the way. That's called communist thinking. Thank you very much. We'll suffer today for a better tomorrow. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? Anyways, when I come back, we'll change the whole vibration. Right? And we're going to bring it all down a little bit. And then we're going to take a look at the mind. Your mind has created everything. Your wealth, your health, your love affairs with yourself and everyone else. Everything. Nobody would know that 20 minutes before I walked in here, I had a big trauma happen to one of my family members. Could you tell? Yeah, because guess what? Me suffering and being distracted. Because guess what, guys? That's all they do is distract you out there, don't they? And you're all, most of you, when I say all, I mean 99 out of 100 of you are distracted. If I were to say, did you hear? Most of you would be running over here. Nobody talks about anything except creating and how beautiful life is around me. And when people come to me, they're allowed to tell their horror story one time, because then I can take a look at their horror story, and then we together will rewrite the story into a hero story. And that's all you had to do, is become your own Braveheart hero. So what we're going to do, we're going to spend the rest of the day to find your cape, dust it off, iron it, and then put it on properly so that you can fly. First, love yourself. Lorraine, would you like to come up? So, why are you here? So today, I want you to ask yourself, why are you here on the planet? Why did you come to this get together that we have today? What do you want out of this thing? And then that's all I want to do. Those of you that want to speak, that's all I want from you. And that's all I want to give you. And that's all you should be given. What is it you want out of this? Lorraine, why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you're doing, and anything else that's on your mind, sweetie?
Wow. My name is Lorraine, and I'm here in Calgary. I am currently working out of the Wellness Hub. It is a members only, which means that we get to decide what we're doing there, and we will just keep doing our own thing and minding our own business. I am a whole life coach, a certified whole life coach, both non-surgical master practitioner, and one of the trainers here at Doc of Detox. I teach the pelvic restoration and disease prevention masterclass, and we've got one coming up in June here in Calgary, June 7th, 8th, and 9th. It is strictly for women. And I do have room if anyone's interested in coming to it. I love what I do. When I first met Daryl, I didn't have any aches or pains, not physically, anyways.
That's because you knocked yourself out.
Exactly, because I was really good at numbing myself out. And I have changed 180. Like, you wouldn't recognize me if you saw me 4 or 5 years ago. You just wouldn't recognize me. And it is, and I had gone to a lot of personal development. I wanted that change. I started that in my late 30s, trying to figure out what the heck, how come I'm not where I want to be? What is it that I want? Who am I? I felt kind of like I didn't belong because my views were different. And Daryl has put things together so easily and great that absolutely anybody can understand and follow the information. We don't need to be a doctor. We don't need to be, someone who's got a lot of degrees. All we need to be is open and interested and curious about how the body really works. That's where the problem is. You go to the doctor when you have a problem, they give you a medication, which is a Band-Aid. It gets you out of pain, but it does not get to the root problem. So the root problem's still happening. So you're still getting worse. You just don't know it because you've numbed your body out. So, figuring out how you can come back to these beautiful bodies and support them, it's an amazing journey. an amazing journey. You know, I'm 66 and I do this work. It is physical body work. And it's my pleasure to work with people and to see the difference in their bodies as they move through this process of opening up these blocks where there's stagnation. And where there's stagnation, there is less life flow. So what we're doing is we're bringing that life energy back to these areas. Like, it's such an amazing thing to watch and witness, and just, it's so beautiful. I love this work. Right from the Wolf Non-Surgical to the coaching people on how they can get healthy. I didn't realize, I went back to school and got certified as a holistic nutritionist. And I thought, it's got to be a way that I can eat my way to being healthy. There's got to be a way, but there isn't, not nowadays. There just isn't. We've got to come to that realization that we are in a very, very toxic world. We are the highest educated generation yet, but we're the sickest one. What's going on? What's going on? What are we missing? We're not honoring these bodies. We're not taking care of these bodies. We've numbed them out. And we keep dishonoring ourselves, and we keep choosing things that are going to bring us down rather than bring us up. But the problem is we don't understand that either. You go into the grocery store, and I remember when my kids were little, I went into the grocery store and I thought everything was deemed okay to eat. Right? Somebody put a check mark saying, yeah, this is good. Well, yeah, somebody did, but they weren't thinking about how it affects our bodies. Did you know that Coca-Cola was the first company to come out with what they called the bliss point? The bliss point heightens all 5 senses beyond natural, chemically. And after that, everything processed, packaged had to get to that bliss point. So just think about everything that you're grabbing that is in a package or in a can. It has to hit that point, and that's why we get hooked on them. It fills the void, but it is not nourishing the body. Matter of fact, it has the opposite effect because our body has to pull from reserves in order to be able to do anything with it, even just get it moving out. So we've really got to come back to what Mother Nature gave us. And the Perfect Day, if you haven't downloaded that Perfect Day protocol, that Perfect Day manual, go to pdgfree.com and you can download it for free. Or if you're here sitting, I've got a number of them in the back there. It is over 550 pages of Dr. Wolf's life in treating people and what works. If you want to become your own practitioner, this is where you need to start. You start with you first. You make the changes. You start loving your body. You start loving your body back to life, back to have that spark of life again. I get excited every morning when I get up. It's a new day. It's a beautiful day. Even if it's raining or snowing or blizzarding, I'm here and I'm able to do what I love. And that's a beautiful thing, And I I encourage every one of you to do some soul searching and figure out why you came today. What was your draw? Are you like me? When I first met Daryl and he went around and he asked, why are you here? And the only thing I could come up with I wanted more. I wanted more. I don't know what that looks like, but I want more. I wanted more from me. I wanted more from life. I wanted more. And it wasn't that I was in a space where I needed more, but there was something missing, right? And it truly was that spark of life. You know, we from 0 to 7, we get that programming, and then we finished high school. And I remember when I finished high school, I was really excited about going into the workforce or going into university. You know, I was excited about expanding and learning. And then somehow I lost that. And in my 30s, you know, I did not know who I was or what I was doing here. And I already had like 4 kids and a husband and a couple of dogs, you know, and a full-time career, you know, and I still question, what the heck am I doing here? Where am I? I'm here, I'm doing, but I'm not being. You know, and the stuff that Dr. Wolf has put together makes the changes very easy, very logical. Let's just open up these areas that aren't working, where the pain is, and allow that to bring in that spark of life again. I don't know what else to say.
So yes, Lorraine is a big part of our Braveheart Nation, and but we welcome all of you to be part of it on any level that you want, any level that you want. You know, and I mean that. We're coming out with an app, and this app, we're going to be having people come on there that, you know, that do different things. Like Jim Gale came on, he does food forest abundance. We got the Be Brave show now, and they talk about the bees. They talk about the chemistry of the universe. They talk about everything, things that I don't know very much about. You know, we're going to have like 120 shows on there in maybe the next year or two. And this is all a private platform. The government can't come in. They can't say anything. They can't do anything. You know, I don't know if we're going to charge 99 cents or $1.99, but once we charge a fee, they can't come in. They can't stick their nose in. Remember, the government works for an internal government that works for an evil entity. And your job is, this is called mousetrap. Your job is to bring your vibration up 1% every day until you vibrate so high that you're untouchable. Remember something, they're after me. They'll try to get me, but they still have to stay within the law. So anyways, you know, the reality is they're not even after me. They're after the low-hanging fruit. And who's that? Mr. or Mrs. Depressed, Mr. or Mrs. Anxiety, Mr. or Mrs. believes that they have to numb themselves out because they don't know how to handle their emotions, which is energy and motion. And energy and motion, what are the signals you're giving off? If you're giving off fear, then you can kiss your rear goodbye. You're not going to be here, or you don't want to be here. You want to die anyway. The only reason why that euthanasia is free in Canada now is because you're all primed for it. You know, most of Canadians are depressed. They don't see a way out because the mind creates everything, and most Canadians have a landmine. So the reality is they don't want a landmine that the bombs are going off. So, you know, they'll probably, well, it's free. You know, you'd be surprised what people will do when it's free. I'm just trying to tell you, you can look at it biblically, or you can look at it as an awakening, or you can look at it as, you know what? This is the way it is. We're being tested to rise. What is your value? What are you worth? Well, you better change it. Okay? You better change it right now. It should be a number so big that it's infinite, because you have infinite possibility when you work from the spirit of things. I'm not going to disrespect this, but this is only a meat suit. And vibrationally, you know, human beings are just a couple notches from animals. And no, we weren't given kingdom over the world. Look at us. We kill everything. We destroy everything. We destroy ourselves. We destroy each other. And I call bullshit. Man was not given kingdom over the world or over the animals. That was not written by God. God damn it. Wake up. And if you think that there's one book on this planet that hasn't been manipulated, what the heck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I'm not telling you there's nothing good from certain books. There always is, but it's always going to be woven to take you down. You got to understand something right now. No matter what goes on in the world, I feel free. Don't search for peace. Look for alignment. You're never going to have alignment if you are part of any group or any story on this planet. You write your own story tonight called a Braveheart Oath contract, where you are going to write, if I totally was in love with myself in my life, what would it look like? If I totally respected myself, what would it look like? If I totally honored myself, what would it look like? If I totally protected myself from myself and others, what would that look like? And you write it, and then you look at it morning and night for 33 days, and then you'll find out what it is you really wanted and what you gave up. You know, I'm really good at what I do. If I was after your money, it wouldn't be talking like this. So you better get it. Okay? I'd be trying to push product down your throat. But understand, when we come back, we will talk about product. We'll talk about food. We'll talk about some of the more basic things that from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, because guess what? How many people here believe that they can actually go to a supermarket and be well? You're crazy. You're crazy. It's not even in the food anymore. And I will no longer shop at a supermarket. Okay? If I can't get it from the farmer, why do you think I live in Mexico? Because guess what? Whether you want to believe it, did you know that Mexico is now the safest and the best place to live in the world? It's been picked as that. Oh, but what about the cartel? I don't know. I'd have to find them for you. You're so ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Okay. But what about the government? I don't know. Have you noticed your own? I haven't heard anything from the government down there. They leave everybody alone. Did you know that? Everybody's so ridiculous. You just believe everything. Well, I'm so scared to come down there. Well, we've had probably around, in 3 years, we've probably had around 3,000 people, right?
Easily.
Yeah. Not one person even got their wallet stolen. And guess what? And the ones that came down that were alcoholics, that were drunk in the middle of the night, either it was one of the village people bringing them home or the police. Seriously, guys? Okay. You know what? I'll take my third world country because it's first world living. I have everything that you have and more. So I'm trying to tell you something, not to move down to where I live. I'm trying to tell you, why aren't you making choices that honor yourself? Anyways, this wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for Lorraine. And Lorraine's business is right here in Calgary. And she has a Cellsonic. She does a non-surgical. She's a master trainer. She's got a heart. Okay. She won't rip you off like me. Okay. So, you know what? Really check her out and let people know about her. Let people know about her. We give a money back guarantee on your first treatment with us, non-surgical. We give a money back guarantee on your consultation with us. We give a money back guarantee on all our courses, all our trainings, don't we?
Yeah.
She's coming to Florida and to do the three-day masterclass. She'll be there. I'll be going in first on June the 5th. Well, I'm actually doing 2 lectures. I'm doing a day with the Doc and Stewart and another night lecture. And then on June the 5th, I start my whole life health coach. Why aren't you coming? Why aren't you participating? Okay. Why don't you come down at least and pretend you want to take the course and then quit after 3 days? I'm not going to be upset with you. Then you can take all your money and go home and go without guilt. I'm trying to tell you something, guys. You know, do what you need to do to start loving you and caring for you. And then I finish that course, and then Dr. Sage Wolf will do the Wolf non-surgical. We have the most powerful body work in the world. Any physiotherapist, any massage therapist, any chiropractor, any type of body worker out there, or any type of doctor out there that can't fix their patient, they can come to me and I'll do them for free. But then I'm allowed to put it online and show you that we're right. We're right about that. We're the best there is at this. Because you know why? Because when you are not scared to find your authentic self and know that every one of you has a passion and a purpose, and you were meant to be here to rock your world. And listen, every one of you have given up your passion and purpose. Because that's the first thing that they do, don't they? Because every time that you came to somebody with a dream, and you don't tell people your dreams unless those people have already done it. You don't tell anybody your dreams. Look at the things I'm doing. I've created the world's most powerful health app. You'll find out when it comes out. It is. I'm building right now a 35 by 60 foot studio that has 5 different stages in it. I've got people already lined up from around the world that want to come and shoot their master classes, shoot shows there. I've got, okay, so the biggest company that makes B17 and Laetrile, they want to do their convention at my place and come down there and do it there. I mean, we're going to create a Braveheart nation. It's not going to be about Doc of Detox. It's not going to be about Dr. Wolf. Dr. Wolf, my butt. It's going to be about everybody else finding themselves and finding their passion and purpose. And then using this platform to go tell the world that we are family. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Have a great break. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And we'll be back in about, when I say 15, it's usually 20, 25, okay? Because, you know, it's hard to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Takes a little longer.
And if you can't join us, let's see if you can have the best Sunday of your life, right? It's like smile, connect to your breath, and love yourself well. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, he'll take care of it.